This is USVI News, your Virgin Islands connection.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for USVI News. I'm Haley Potter. We begin with some news out of St. Thomas. Yet another person has fallen victim to gun violence. Early Tuesday morning, the 911 center received a call for a man down in Estate Dorothea by the dumpsters. Officers found an unresponsive black male with multiple gunshot wounds and no signs of life. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The victim was identified as 49-year-old Bill John Baptiste. The St. John and St. Thomas District Chief of Police is asking for anyone who knows something to come forward with information by calling 911, the Criminal Investigation Bureau at 340-774-2211, or anonymously to Crime Stoppers USVI at 800-222-TIPS. And because of the recent gun violence, the VIPD held a briefing Wednesday to address the status of the investigations into shootings in St. Thomas that resulted in 2 deaths. We just told you about the shooting of 49-year-old Bill John Baptiste. And later on March 9th, 911 received another call of shots fired in the area of Oswald Harris Court housing. First responders found another unresponsive male on the scene. This man, 35-year-old Akeem Dorr, was also pronounced dead on the scene, and there is a person of interest, and the VIPD are pleading to the public to help in this investigation.
Right now, I would like to present to you a photo. This individual, his name is Akimo Smith. He is a person of interest in the homicide which occurred in Oswald Harris Court. Ladies and gentlemen, if you see him, if you know him, please tell him to call 911, or if you see him, call 911. Have him turn himself in so that we can talk to him. He is a person of interest in this homicide, and we would like, the Virgin Islands Police Department would like to have a conversation with him. Again, I would like to thank everyone who has given us information about the other homicide which occurred in the Carrot Bay, Dorothea area. We are vigorously following up on those leads, and anything else that you can give us will be greatly appreciated, and more importantly, will be held in the most strictest of confidence.
And anyone with information is urged to call 911, the Criminal Investigation Bureau at 340-774-2211, extension 5569, or Crime Stoppers USVI at 800-222-TIPS, where your information can earn you a reward. In St. John, VIPD are continuing to ask for your help in finding a 56-year-old woman who was reported missing in St. John on Monday morning. Take a look. This is 56-year-old Sarm Joan Lillian Heslop. She was last seen on March 7th aboard the vessel Siren Song that was off the coast of St. John. She's a Caucasian female. Her height and weight are unknown at this time, but she has a tattoo on her left shoulder. The National Park Service has joined the VIPD in conducting a vigorous search of the St. John waterways to help find Heslop. Police will continue to investigate. And anyone with information on the whereabouts of Heslop is urged to call 911, the Criminal Investigation Bureau at 340-774-2211, or Crime Stoppers USVI at 800-222-TIPS. You were urged to say something if you saw something. And yet another day goes by that an elderly man has been missing in St. Croix. Family members and VIPD continue their pleas to the public in help finding him. Take a look. This is 80-year-old Michael Doder Emanuel, and he's been missing since the morning of February 19th when he walked away from his home in the Canebrake Apartments. Investigators are offering a $3,200 reward for information leading to his whereabouts. And anyone with that information on the whereabouts of Michael Emanuel is urged to call 911, the Wilbur Francis Command at 340-778-2211, or the Crime Tip Line at 340-778-4950. And now to the latest on the COVID-19 numbers here in the territory. The VI Department of Health last updated their case count on Monday. There were 97 total active cases, 61 in St. Croix, 35 in St. Thomas, and 1 in St. John. We will bring you the latest COVID-19 cases as they are updated again tomorrow. And Virgin Islanders can now schedule vaccinations online through the Department of Health website. Again, that website is covid19usvi.com/vaccine. Once you're on the site, all you have to do is fill out some paperwork and schedule a vaccine. All Virgin Islanders 16 or older are now eligible to receive the vaccine, and residents without access to the internet can still book appointments at one of the community vaccination centers by calling the VITEMA hotline at 340-777-VAX, which is 8227. And this is a reminder, there is a community vaccination center in each district. It's at the University of the Virgin Islands Great Hall in St. Croix and at UVI's Sports and Fitness Center in St. Thomas. After the first week of the community vaccination centers taking appointments, almost 25,000 people were vaccinated, and that number continues to go up as vaccines go into arms this week. And the local vaccination centers have the proper resources thanks to a unified effort between the territory and the federal government. FEMA's logistics and operations team partnered with the VI Territorial Emergency Management Agency and the VI Department of Health to deliver personal protection equipment, medical supplies, tables, chairs, traffic cones, and office equipment to the vaccination centers at the University of the Virgin Islands. They also received about 126,000 gloves, 100,000 masks, 5,000 pairs of goggles, and over 9,000 bandages to be used at the vaccination center as part of the COVID-19 response. To build out the territorial-led, federally supported vaccination centers, the facilities had to support the territory's objective, which was to find a location that can vaccinate 50,000 Virgin Islanders, have space for social distancing, pharmacies to store and vaccine medical supplies, and accessibility for people with disabilities. Virgin Islanders who are eligible could be vaccinated regardless of citizenship, status, disability, or employer, and vaccines are provided free of charge. And with more vaccines going into arms, we just want to remind you that some of the COVID-19 restrictions are eased, and that took effect here on Monday across the VI. Restaurants can now seat up to 75% of their capacity, and they can now seat parties of more than 6. Taxis can transport more than 50% as long as all of the passengers are from the same group, and beaches will now remain open until 5 p.m. on weekends and holidays. All masking and social distancing measures will still remain in effect for now. And aside from just ease restrictions here in the territory, the CDC eased some restrictions for people who receive the vaccine. People who are fully vaccinated can now safely visit family in town without wearing a mask. That's the new guidance from the CDC, but let's break it all down.
The CDC says masks should still be worn in public, but if you're fully vaccinated, it's okay to visit family from one household in town without a mask or social distancing 2 weeks after the final shot.
If grandparents have been vaccinated, they can visit their daughter and her family, even if they have not been vaccinated, so long as the daughter and her family are not at risk for severe disease.
Americans ready to come out of hiding.
Go to the beach, go out, visit family. I'm looking forward to visiting my grandkids.
Travel is still discouraged. Health experts are concerned with spring break just around the corner. Florida is already seeing crowds.
I see so many freaking people, and honestly, everyone's like almost piled up on top of each other.
I'll just wait until 4. And along with some new restrictions from the CDC, Texas lifted their mask mandate on Wednesday. And just a reminder, as the weekend quickly approaches, if you're flying in or out of St. Thomas, construction at the King Airport is well underway. That means most of the airport's public parking area is closed and will remain closed during this 2-year project. The VI Port Authority says travelers are being asked to be picked up and dropped off at the airport. Curbside parking is not allowed, and signs will be posted at the terminal advising of this new parking restriction. The Parking and Transportation Center will have 600 parking spaces and a dedicated location for ground transportation and car rentals. The VIPA will provide project updates on their website, viport.com. And American Airlines is planning a major bond sale. American Airlines plans to issue $5 billion in bonds and a $2.5 billion term loan to pay back a federal loan, as well as other debt incurred to help deal with the coronavirus pandemic. The debt will be backed by its frequent flyer program. The proceeds will be used to pay back federal loans that Congress passed last year to help the struggling airline industry. The airline had total debt of $41 billion at the end of 2020.